Hey there, everybody, welcome back. Let's talk Manchester United. Manchester United 7, Barnsley 0. I can't tell you how happy I am to have watched that game today. Going into today's game, I was pretty confident that we would win. What about you, Riley? Were you confident? Riley was a lot confident, right? But Riley was there beside me while watching the game, so maybe he is my good luck charm. So Barnsley, not the greatest side. They're a League One side. Didn't really expect too much from them going in. I thought we would win comfortably. Honestly, 3-0, maybe 4-0. But the 7 freaking 0. Man, oh man. It's been a while we've seen a high scoring game like this. What was it the last time? Southampton, all those years ago, 9-1 or something like that, or 9-0. But other than that, we haven't seen something like this too often. And we've played other shittier sides over the years. This isn't the first time we were playing a League One side in Southampton all those years ago. So winning 7-0 is really a big thing. And when I say a big thing, not just the fact that we can brag about it. Honestly, I couldn't care less what I would tell the fans or fans of other clubs or anything like that. But why it's a big deal is because you see Rashford today, a guy who's been struggling for confidence for over a year, almost 18 months, scored on the weekend, and Ten Hag played him up front, and that's the only reason why I think he played him, because he would have a high chance to score against Barnsley, which he did twice. And I think even he put in an assist, right? That is going to be amazing for his confidence, and that's what we need. The old Marcus Rashford. He has the skill. I've said it all along. He has the skill. He has the talent. You don't score 30 goals in the Premier League if you don't have that talent. What he needs is his confidence, and it looks like a game like today gave him some confidence. Don't think that he's going to go on and score 30 goals now. He could have a shit game and for the next month or two. So let's just hope this is a good sign for him. But other than that, overall, it was a Ten Hag masterclass, right? No, not really, but it was good. His tactics were good. We didn't really score those goals on the counter, especially the last couple goals. Okay, Barnsley by then had given up. Yeah, I get it. It's easier to play through them. But that showed one thing. He does have tactics. For all those people who keep on saying he doesn't have tactics, what does he do in training? He doesn't do anything. No, he has tactics, and this proved it today. The players didn't come up with all of that. How many goals did we score from cutbacks? At least 2 or 3 today that I can think of, maybe more. And that is a sign of tactics. That is not something the players just came up with on the fly and did that. If that was the case, Gareth Southgate's England would have been doing a lot of that, right? But yeah. So it is tactics, and a lot of us have said all along. Ten Hag has his tactics, but if the players can't implement them, what's the point? Today, because we're playing against an easier side, it's easier to implement them, and that's the reason why we did well. And that's the question, right? We did well against a really weak side. Can we replicate that in the Premier League? Can we do that against Palace this weekend? Can we do that against Tottenham the weekend after that? That's a real question. But a lot of good signs. I've said this all along. We have good world-class players. What we don't have is players in form. And what games like today does is it gives players confidence, especially like Rashford, Garnacho. This is one thing I want to talk about. Anthony had a decent game. He didn't have the worst game, but he's not going to start, especially ahead of Ahmad, Garnacho, and Rashford, right? So Anthony was decent today. He wasn't bad, and he's definitely not as bad as the media make him sound. But the other 3, man, oh man, this is the problem I've been looking for years now. We have 2 spots in the wingers positions, but we have 3 players who are really, really in form right now and are playing really well. And that is one problem I love to have. And that's something I want to see in the midfield as well. Imagine if Casemiro goes back to his form from 2 years ago. Him and Agarde fighting for that CDM position, and Mainu just maybe even getting better with that competition. Well, that's a dream. Right now, Casemiro had a decent game. He didn't have a bad game by any means. He still did put those diving tackles, completely, totally unnecessary tackles. I honestly think because the referee was from, I don't know, not the Premier League, maybe the Championship or League One, where such tackles are more common, he didn't get booked. But if it was the Premier League, he was definitely getting booked and maybe on the verge of getting a red card, because he put in a couple of reckless tackles in the first half. But after that, he did get better. But again, by then, the game was done. Barnsley weren't really putting in an effort. So that's why he was doing better. But again, this can help boost confidence. Now, will he do the same thing against Palace? I hope he doesn't start against Palace. So that's a different story. We'll talk about that in a bit. But other than that, he did have a pretty decent game. And overall, I would say everybody had a good game. When being there in goal, didn't really have much to do, but when he did have to be involved, he was pretty decent. Johnny Evans and who was it, Harry Maguire did a pretty good job. And yeah, other than that, no real complaints. Standout performer for me, Ugarde. I really did like how he played. He is fast. He is fast in midfield, and now I understand what people say he's like a Kante. If he can play like a Kante and cover the ground, like our midfielders will have so much, like they'll have time to push up. And he recovered a lot of possession as well. Like every time they would have Barnsley had the ball, he would go put a press and make some tackles and recover a lot of possession. And if he can replicate that against Palace on Sunday, that would be good. Now going to Palace, who's going to start? The back four are going to be exactly the same as they were last week, no doubt about that. In terms of CDM, I think Ugarde is going to start. He took him off at around, I don't know, 60, 65 minutes or so. That's usually a sign that he's going to start those people. So who was it? Him, Rashford, and I don't know, somebody else. But so definitely Rashford and Ugarde are going to start. Beside him, Mainu has to be Mainu. I know Eriksen had a really good game. Now that's the thing. He played last week, and he had a really he had a decent, not decent, he had a good game last week. On the weekend against Southampton, and he had a really good game today. So will Tana go with him? I really hope he doesn't. He can come on from the bench and have an impact that way, because one thing is there, he doesn't have the legs. His pace is gone. And against Barnsley is one thing, against Palace is a totally different thing. So I hope and I really think it's going to be Mainu who starts. Now, sorry, Bruno's obviously going to start, and Xerxes is going to be up front, even though Rashford did it today. I don't think he's going to try something like that in the Premier League, especially when he has somebody like Xerxes available. Now, here's the problem. You have Rashford, you have Garnacho, and you have Ahmad, all three in really good form. Who do you start? Garnacho and Rashford both have scored 3 in 2 games, and I think Garnacho has more assists. But I think Rashford is going to start. And honestly, it's not the worst thing. He always starts him, normally even when he has a shit game. And why wouldn't he start him now? When he's scored 3 goals in 2 games, right? So I think he's going to start him. On the right-hand side, I'm not sure. Maybe Garnacho because he's had a good game, but that's not fair to Ahmad as well. And Ahmad's been in form. And honestly, Ahmad is better because he gives us that balance, because Garnacho honestly is a left winger. So I think Ahmad is going to start, and Garnacho is going to come on as a sub again. And here, this is like, I am telling you right now, Garnacho is going to score on Saturday against Palace. And he's going to score the winner. Man, I don't know in terms of result. I'm nervous. I think we're going to win because Palace have been pretty bad lately. They have had, I don't know, 2 losses at least, maybe 3. I don't know, but they haven't won for sure. Or maybe, but they have been pretty bad. And because of that, I have a feeling we're going to win, because we do have the momentum going right now. I know last time around we were there, we lost 4-0. But again, that was a different story. It was a horrible season, and we had no defenders, literally, on that during that game. Johnny Evans played. I think he didn't pass his fitness that day, but he still played. So, and now they don't have, who is it? Michael Olise, who, by the way, scored 2 goals today. And I think because of that, we should have a win. I would say 2-1. Maybe even a clean sheet, because De Ligt and Martinez have been good recently. It's just on the left-hand side that worries me. So that's why I'm going with a 2-1 scoreline. But I really hope they win. Other than that, really positive signs right now. And I hope that it keeps on going up and up and up. And I really, really hope we win at least a trophy this season and finish top 4 comfortably. That's the hope. But anyways, let's hope for the best. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Riley's always happy and excited to make these videos, mostly because he gets treats like this. And there you go. And thanks again, everybody. Like and subscribe, and go Manchester United.